isn't any substantive reason why there ought to be a government shutdown.
Trump doesn't want to lift a finger to stop health care premiums from more than doubling.
Developing tonight, Democrats and Republicans in Congress holding firm, putting the federal government on track for its first government shutdown in nearly 7 years. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. The White House has already ordered federal agencies to begin implementing their shutdown plans. While Congress does have until midnight East Coast time to make a deal, it does not appear likely that will happen. This is a live look at the U.S. Capitol tonight, where the Senate has adjourned until tomorrow morning. Democrats are holding out for an agreement that would extend federal funding over health care subsidies that are set to expire at the end of this year. Republicans want to pass a 7-week extension that keeps the government running at current funding levels. Today, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer suggested Republicans are not serious about negotiating.
There's no better proof than the fact that Speaker Johnson sent everybody home this week, ensuring a shutdown no matter what the Senate did. So don't argue who wants the shutdown. It's Johnson. Cut the garbage and get serious with us about solving the health care crisis.
Both parties are pointing fingers over who's to blame for the looming shutdown. They're also accusing each other of using Americans as political pawns.
If you want to have a debate on healthcare, we can have a debate on healthcare. You don't hold the government hostage over that. That's exactly what they're doing.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like.
Trump admitted himself that he is using Americans as political pawns.
And tonight we're getting a better sense of how a shutdown will affect the services that Americans rely on, from air travel to Social Security check distribution. Fox 13's Alejandra Guzman is in Seattle tonight with a breakdown of what's likely ahead.
Yes, your mail will still get delivered, but a government shutdown would hit hard in other ways. According to Attorney General Nick Brown, thousands of federal workers here in Washington could be furloughed or work without pay.
That would have devastating impacts on Washingtonians. We have thousands of federal employees whose jobs might be in limbo, a lot of federal grant funding that would be shut down or stopped here in Washington. And, on people and our economy, it would be very, very serious.
Air traffic controllers, troops, and federal law enforcement deemed essential would still report to work, but without a paycheck until Congress reaches a deal. If you've got travel plans, brace yourself. Flights may be delayed due to staffing shortages. SNAP benefits or food stamps could run out, just like the WIC program for women, infant, and children. Social Security checks would still go out. FEMA forecasters would remain on the job, but Republican GOP Chairman Jim Walsh says the concerns are being overblown.
These so-called government shutdowns out of Washington, D.C. are a lot of theater. Well, I think when you take a government job, when you're working for a government agency, you know what you're dealing with here. You know that these positions and the agency functions are subject, frankly, to political posturing back in D.C. I guess my message to someone who's concerned is this doesn't have the markings of a major interruption.
On the other hand, Senator Patty Murray says a big sticking point in reaching a deal has to do with health care.
In my state, family paying $238 per month for their health insurance right now, thanks to Republicans, they could pay as much as $1,800 per month next year.
No, Senator Murray, stop being hysterical. Acknowledge that Senator Thune has put you in a place where you can't get out of it very easily. Stop the rhetoric, make a deal with Senator Thune, and let's keep the government open and operating. Enough of the theatrics, Senator Murray. Cut it out, be responsible, serve the people of Washington, and let's avoid this shutdown.
Alejandra Guzman, Fox 13 News.
And you can follow the latest updates out of Washington, D.C. on the looming government shutdown by heading to our website. That is westcoastrapid.com. Once again today, President Trump threatened to send the military into American cities, including San Francisco.
the Democrats run most of the cities that are in bad shape. We have many cities in great shape, too, by the way. I want you to know that. But it seems that the ones that are run by the radical left Democrats, what they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room.
San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie says he is focused on the elements that he can control when it comes to public safety in San Francisco.
I'm going to focus on keeping San Franciscans safe. That's what I've been doing since day one. I cannot control what's coming out of D.C. I can only focus on what we're doing here. Crime in San Francisco is down 30%. It's down 40% in our financial district, and we're continuing to drive those numbers down, and people are feeling better here in San Francisco, and that's what I can control.
And Mayor Lurie went on to express confidence in the ability of police and the Sheriff's Department to keep the city safe. Over this past weekend, President Trump said he is planning to deploy troops to the city of Portland. We turn now to Arizona, where cleanup efforts are continuing tonight after deadly flash flooding over this past weekend. Those floods left at least 4 people dead, and many others are believed to be missing. Fox 10's Lauren Clark has more tonight from one of the harder hit communities of Globe, Arizona.
Well, you'll see stands just like this one across the downtown area of Globe, offering free food and snacks to volunteers, a community coming together during this devastating time.
This is our backyard.
This was the site for David Salinas outside his barbecue restaurant Friday. The gushing floodwaters looking like an ocean swallowing his back patio.
Probably 3 or 4 tables in our restaurant. By that point, even the patrons were helping us, trying to block the doors with towels.
That's when they headed for cover.
After a minute, the level started rising, and that's what I told my employees, we better get up. So we got up on top of the roof just in case.
His staff is cleaning up the debris and salvaging what they can. He took this video with his cell phone, mopping up his tile floors caked with mud. Across town, La Lucia Dia is one of the lucky downtown businesses not damaged. Co-partner Oscar Serrano says they've handed out food to the volunteers who've come to clean up. Crowds he was stunned to see.
Fortunately, this flood that we got 4 days ago, everybody's just like family. It's just, it's crazy, like how many people, even people that you rarely see, it's just like the whole community just showed up and they brought everything they could.
The community is what's held everything together in the devastation. They've come to mop up messes at places like Antique Mall, where mud covers merchandise and a back room remains underwater.
It's been pretty devastating, honestly. Never seen anything like it in my life.
As stands out in front of businesses offer free food and water to those who are helping out. Nick Arndt with Naughty Fox Gift Shop says this is what Globe is all about.
That they're the most resilient people I've ever seen. Like, honestly, it's pretty incredible.
Business owners tell me that they estimate around 5,000 people were out here volunteering yesterday. And in addition to that, they also had their rival football team come out here and lend a helping hand. Reporting here in Globe, Lauren Clark, Fox 10 News.
A long-distance swimmer is recovering tonight after a shark attack off the California coast. The encounter with what was thought to be a juvenile great white shark happened early this morning as the man was trying to swim across the Catalina Channel. A boat crew following the swimmer pulled him out of the water right away. He's expected to recover from injuries to his leg and foot.
I'm kind of amazed. I've been doing this for a number of years now, and we've never had an incident before. We've seen sharks out there. They get a little curious, come by, see what's going on, and then generally leave.
And swimmers often cross the Catalina Channel overnight to take advantage of calmer winds and water conditions. That route is considered to be one of the world's most challenging marathon swims. A man died after plowing his car into a bar in Oregon early this morning. It happened at the Timber Pub and Grub in the town of Boring. Clackamas County firefighters say the crash caused part of the roof at that bar to collapse, trapping the driver inside. Crews rescued the driver and took him to the hospital, but he died there later. Police tonight are investigating the cause of that crash. And police in Southern California are investigating a bizarre burglary. They say over this past weekend, someone stole 2 hawks that are used at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Police say the suspect stole a utility vehicle which was carrying the caged birds. Authorities released these surveillance images of the suspect. Investigators say a falconer uses those trained hawks to deter other birds during games there at SoFi Stadium. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, a bomb squad called out to Utah State University today. Coming up tonight, the suspicious device that prompted an emergency evacuation ahead of a political event on the campus.
Now let's head to the city by the bay, the city of San Francisco, under mostly cloudy skies. I'll talk about not 1, but 2 West Coast storms with your West Coast Wrap forecast.
It snapped off and then it just hit the ground, and that's when everybody started screaming.
Some scary moments caught on camera at a school carnival in Southern California. Witnesses share what happened when a ride partially collapsed. A bomb squad detonated a suspicious device today on the campus of Utah State University, and this all happened just ahead of the first Turning Point USA event in the state of Utah since Charlie Kirk was assassinated on a nearby college campus. The university says an employee saw someone put that device under a tree near the old main building on campus and thought it was odd, notified authorities. Ultimately, the device was deemed non-explosive, but it was still detonated out of an abundance of caution. In Southern California, survivors of the deadly Eaton fire today demanded an independent investigation into the fire response. Dozens of people came together today in Altadena. They're calling on California Attorney General Rob Bonta to launch an investigation into the response by elected leaders. They say there was a clear lack of preparation.
There were people, well-paid public officials, whose job it was to prepare for this, and they clearly did not. We don't blame our individual first responders, many of whom are our neighbors, but we do hold their leadership responsible.
The push for more accountability comes after a county report on the Eaton fire and the Palisades fire responses, which reportedly identified a number of problems with emergency alerts and the evacuation of residents during those emergencies. Well, some high school students in Arizona are experiencing what it's like to train to be a firefighter. Fox 10's Danielle Miller shows us how their crash course could put them on a path to a decades-long career.
The Scottsdale Unified School District has teamed up with EVIT and the Scottsdale Fire Department to provide its high school students with a unique opportunity.
It's a 2-year program. Students can earn certifications in structural firefighting, wildland firefighting, EMT, paramedics. So there's just a wealth of career opportunities. They are able to blend their technical and professional skills, which give them that leg up, that competitive advantage when they graduate from our school district.
The fire training program happens in the mornings at Coronado High School. Instructor Chuck Herman says the introduction to a career in the field will pay off in the students' futures.
First years are basics. We really front-loaded. You saw them getting into their air packs. That's a huge thing for them to do. It's very claustrophobic, and they got to do it right, and then they have to breathe air. So it's a big process. Not only do they have to be comfortable in it, but then they have to be comfortable doing tasks. We do the first year, we do a lot of PT, basics. Academically, we've been doing like intro to fire behavior, fire protection systems. They just got done with ventilation.
Freya Thorson was very happy when this program launched. She's excited to be one of the first students to complete the course.
Suiting up in total with all of our gear, including our SCBA, we need to do it in under 2 minutes for a job professional requirement. So the first couple of weeks we focused really mainly on that, and we still time ourselves to make sure that we're prepared for next year.
And after that second year, her plans are to become a firefighter.
I'm choosing to become a firefighter because firefighters were there for me and my family in the times of darkest need, and I want to be that light for other people.
The academy is housed at Coronado, but it's open to all SUSD students. The course is also offered at the EVIT campus in Mesa. Danielle Miller, Fox News.
All right, let's turn now and talk about our weather here in the West. And we did see showers today from the Bay Area up to the Pacific Northwest. This is what it looked like south of Portland this afternoon. A light drizzle, keeping the boat launch in Aurora wet. For more, let's bring in KTVU meteorologist Roberta Gonzalez, who is tracking those showers and conditions across the West. Roberta?
Hi, good evening, Alex. And hi, everybody. Take a look at this. This is one big, beautiful system, actually. Two. I mean, if you were to open up the dictionary and look under low pressure, you would see this right here. First of all, you have that giant comma formation. Then you have that frontal boundary that slides through the Pacific Northwest and the state of California today. And then right on its heel is a secondary system that's wrapping up right there. There's the core. There's the frontal boundary. So the bottom line is hit and miss, some light rain showers into the Pacific Northwest all the way to Northern California. When you see these rain bands here, some of it's virga, where the rain's evaporating before it hits the landmass. In fact, I was only able to pick up about 16/100ths of an inch of rain around the Seattle area, backing into Portland. Same story around the Eureka area, up to about 2/10 of an inch of rain in some of the neighboring communities. And then we traverse on down to the San Francisco Bay Area. And keep in mind, these frontal boundaries, they have a big, mighty job to do. They're the first cold fronts of the season, so they've got to bust through a lot of that cold air mass before you can see any of the precipitation hit the ground mass. So as far as rain across the Bay Area is concerned today, the winner was Santa Rosa with just over 2/10 of an inch of rain. Now behind this is typically the scenario where you do see an offshore flow setup. So the extreme Northern California areas all the way into the Bay Area will see some dry, breezy conditions, an offshore component for the weekend. So the fire danger will elevate. But let's talk about the Seattle area again. 70 degrees today, 4 degrees shy of where they should be for this time of the year. San Francisco, you were spot on with 3/100ths of an inch of rain under mostly cloudy skies. And then we head to the Los Angeles area where it's 78 degrees, and that's your average high for this time of the year. Phoenix, typically you're about 103 today, 97 degrees, and look at that desert blue sky. Other notable numbers, 89 today in Vegas. How about 69 in Redding? And it was 79 at the state capital of California in Sacramento. Rain showers will be persistent in the Pacific Northwest all the way into San Francisco for your Wednesday. Lots of sunshine in the Phoenix, Arizona area, and a slight chance of rain showers, making it all the way up to the Mile High City. 60s with the rain in Seattle for Wednesday, 80 in Denver, 98, but climate at triple digits in Phoenix by Thursday, and seasonal across Southern California. Well, one more day needing that umbrella across the Bay Area on Wednesday. Alex, have a good night.
All right, you do the same, Roberta. Thank you. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, a haunted house in Las Vegas is going to do more than scare people as we head toward Halloween. See how it's being used for life-saving training. Plus, thousands showed up for a chance to see music legend Paul McCartney perform live tonight. What fans are sharing about their concert experience in Palm Desert.
Yeah, he pulls at your heartstrings. You know, that's the thing, is it, and his songs are universal, and they've been around so long.
Video circulating online shows the scary moment that a school carnival ride malfunctioned in Los Angeles. One of the Ferris wheel's carriages collapsed at Bishop Conatai Our Lady of the Loretta High School on Friday. It crashed into another carriage that was underneath it. Witnesses watched all this unfold as carnival workers and firefighters secured that scene.
It snapped off, and then it just hit the ground, and that's when everybody started screaming.
In the end, no one was hurt. The cause of that malfunction is unclear still tonight. Well, the countdown to Halloween has created an opportunity to put a spooky twist on police canine training. Fox 5's Tom Durian shows us why the dogs are being taken through a haunted house in Las Vegas.
Come Friday, folks will be lining up at the asylum to get their annual dose of fear. But today, the popular haunted attraction welcomed a different type of visitor.
So we set up several scenarios for the 3 different types of detection dogs that'll be here today.
They'll be searching for explosives, firearms, and narcotics, yes.
Canines from Protective Force International and their handlers were among the first to see this year's setup. But for them, it wasn't about getting a scare, but rather honing their skills.
It's just a different scenario for the dogs to get through, just different environments for them. You know, they usually don't see haunted houses, but you know, it's good stress for them to work through, so that when they do get put into serious situations, that they're not afraid or they don't lash out.
Andrea Monsevillas is here with her partner, Heat.
I think she's going to do great. She's fearless, absolutely fearless. She is a beast. I feel like she's definitely kept me alive in a lot of situations that we've worked. Huh, baby?
But there's much here to distract Heat from her mission.
There's a lot of crazy things inside here: noises, lights flashing, different types of stares and stuff for the dog to be comfortable with.
Steve Martinez is the owner and founder of Black Dog America, a Las Vegas-based company that trains and certifies working canines. Black Dog set up the training session.
The dog has to be comfortable in an environment because you never know where he's going to go, and he has to be efficient working on finding the odor and not worried about what he's walking on.
Despite the strange sights and sounds, the dog's sense of smell sniffed true, and they passed their tests.
I love working dogs and everything that they're capable of. It's amazing what they can find, from, explosives down to cancerous cells in your body. Like, how do they do that? How do they know that? They're amazing.
Yeah, great use of the haunted house there. That was Fox 5's Tom Durian reporting tonight from Southern Nevada. So far, nearly a dozen dogs have been taken through that haunted house. And finally, tonight, music icon Paul McCartney convinced fans from all around the world to make a trip to California. The former Beatle launched his new Got Back tour in Palm Desert last night. His set blended Beatles classics as well as solo hits. Fans of all ages showed up, some of them in costume.
The lyrics are very relatable, and I think the emotions are translatable. They go through all generations and languages. Emotion breaks through all of that. Everybody knows emotion. So I think that plays a big part of it. And I know that a lot of people, at least in my age range, I'm 28, were raised on the Beatles by their parents.
Yeah, that great music being passed down through generations. McCartney's 20-date tour will take him across the U.S. and Canada through this November. And that does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching. As always, and a quick reminder before we head out that you can stay up to date on all the major stories we're covering across the West Coast by heading to our website. It's westcoastwrap.com. And please don't forget to stream all of our shows on your smart TV. All you need to do is download that free Fox Local app. We'll leave you here with a gorgeous shot of downtown San Francisco. Have a great night.